Bring it back.
Hi guys, welcome back to my second video on Car Mechanics Simulator 2018. This time we're going to be doing one of the story missions. So I've not actually started, I've literally just accepted the order on the phone, and it looks like, I don't know, it's like a BMW Z4 or something I think it's supposed to be. So let's have a look what the problem is. Came back from a party and it seems that I fell into a well. Please assess the damage and repair what you can. Right, well, he's a bit of an idiot for falling in a well, but first things first, let's have a look, nothing on the overview, so let's send it to the path test to see if we can find out what's wrong with the car, to get an idea what we need to replace. So I'll just quickly run the path test. Barely starts. Hold the brake. So hopefully, this now being my second video, I've been playing around a bit this afternoon with how I record them. So initially I was using NVIDIA's Shadow Play, which, while seemed to work quite well, had a few problems with the recording and a little bit out of sync with the sound. It wasn't perfect. So this time I've switched to an open source piece of software called OBS Studio, which seems to have pretty good reviews, and so far I'm quite pleased with it as I've been testing it. It seems to work very well. It's a little bit complicated to set up initially, but if any of you do any video recording, I strongly recommend you at least have a look at it, although it's probably worth watching a few tutorials about how it works before you get into it, otherwise it's pretty confusing if you don't know. Right, what we got? So, a lot of suspension damage. The rear arms, the discs, shocks. Right, okay, so it's pretty much all suspension damage. Okay, so let's get this onto the lifter. Walk back through. And get it cranked up. So hopefully it's a case of just stripping the front end, getting new parts, and then doing the same on the back. Just going to quickly pop into overview mode. Yeah, so it's basically all the left hand side. Oh yes, on both sides. So he's really just hit a well and broken the left hand side of the car. Okay, so let's first things first, get the wheel off. All the discs are also pretty, and the calipers are pretty knackered, so we'll certainly get those off. What am I missing? There's a wheel bearing in there. All these parts are pretty badly damaged. Take the tyre rod out. But it doesn't seem to go right in, the steering rods all seem to be okay and everything. So hopefully it's just a case of replacing all the things on the left hand side. Sway bar's in a good condition. Right. Okay, I'm just going to quickly pop out and pop back to overview mode. Okay, so in theory, oh, there's a bushing there. Yes, that's pretty worn. I'll have that out. I don't know what this bushing here is like. Yes, that also looks pretty worn to me. Well, it's 1%. 1% is not the ideal condition for bushing. So now let's have a quick look at what we've got that's broken. So we need lots of new bushings. So let's pop to the shop. Okay. So I've now got all the parts I need to repair this front left part of the car. No, I haven't got all the parts I need to repair the front part left of this car, because I didn't check the shock. Let's me dismantle that on the spring puller. So I want front shock absorber cap, front shock absorber. And I'll get another spring just to be on the safe side. So these need to be reassembled on the spring gauge. You can't reassemble these on the car. I'm not sure why you put the bolts in there when there's actually currently yet nothing to bolt it to. But there you go. So now it's just a case of reassembling the main parts. Putting the brake discs back on, pads, the caliper, so all these parts are what I've replaced. These are all up to a poor condition to use. Wheel bearing, and then the drive axle. Oh, okay, it needs a new rim as well. Oh dear. I hadn't considered that. And that side needs a new rim. It obviously must have driven into that well just on the left hand side. So let's just take the tyre off here. Let's buy a new rim. I don't suppose it will let me repair the rim on the... No, it will not. So, the rim we have got is 18-inch 225 with no offset. Oops. 18-inch. Oh, I've forgotten what type of rim it is already. Classic 6. You really need a pen and paper with this game. So if we go to the rim shop, 225, 18. Oh, it doesn't actually set the... So let's put that tyre back on the new rim. Then once the tyre change has done this, we'll have to run it through the wheel balance machine. Let's balance the tyre. Fortunately, quite a slow process. Okay, take that, and now we should be able to put this back on the front of the car. Okay, new tyre fitted. So let's just, not go back there. Quickly whip back into parts mode. Make sure we put everything on. We've forgotten a rubber bushing, and there's probably one at the front I haven't put in as well, which is also the case. Often the problem with this game, I often forget the bushings. Also noticing, looking at front, the radiator looks pretty badly damaged, although the intercooler's okay. So we'll have to remember to come back and do that radiator. So let's have a quick look. Yes, so that's done a lot of the parts. So now we need to come out over here to the back and basically do the same thing by the looks of it. So let's get this wheel off. Again, because the calipers here is just almost completely wrecked. Yeah, 12%. The pads are okay though, but again the disc needs doing. Just a case of dismantling the key parts. Not sure why this rubber bushing is independent of the suspension arm where it's not on other parts. That's just the way they've decided to model it. So this upper arm's in a good condition, you can see it's not got any rust on it. But it's still got to come off to allow us to get access to the rear knuckle. Yeah, okay, the spring's got to come out. Okay, so by the looking of it, that seems to be all the parts on the back that are damaged off. I'll just quickly pop into overview mode, make sure I've not missed anything obvious, which it doesn't look like I have. And now it's just a case of buying the parts I need. I may cut the buying the parts out in the edit. If I do, you'll see I'll suddenly just reappear with other parts purchased. And then we're going to have to sort out the rims as well, but first I'll just get all the rest of the bits back on. So it's the exhaust pipe. Not quite sure why it wants to put the rear knuckle housing on first when it makes it a floating part. Thankfully I seem to have an assortment of small rubber bushings. This is why I just buy rubber bushings in bulk, because you always need them. I can never remember to get them, so it's easy just to buy a job lot of them and then just use them, and then when I start to run out I'll just buy another bulk lot. They get used on every project. The real hubcaps back in. Down here we've got another rubber bushing I'm missing, and that connects to the suspension arm. Bolt this in, put the sway bar before I put the spring on, then the spring, and there should be a cap as well on the top, yes. So other than the wheel, I think that's everything down here in the back. So let's go back over to the tyre changer. We're going to take this wheel apart again because, again, it's just very badly damaged. It's obviously where he fell into the well. Take those parts. Oops. Click off that menu. Back to my inventory, just have a quick look. Yes, it's just an 18-inch classic rim 6 with no offset. ET means offset, if you didn't know. So it's a classic 6. 18, no offset, just the one. Back over to the tyre changer, still need parts with the original tyre. Yes, I'll put it back on. Then we'll just have to whack it through the wheel balancer again. It does make you do the wheel balancer. If you try and put the tyre back on without running it through the wheel balancer, it will not let you place it on the car. And then once this is done, it should just be a case really of the radiator. Although it looks like we've missed a rubber bushing somewhere. And a rear spring. Okay, looks like we might have missed a few things. Oh, there's a few parts, quite a few parts I seem to have missed. And a rubber bushing. Oh dear. Well, it doesn't look like all in all I've done very well here. So, let's have a quick look what we've got to replace here then. So they want to replace that suspension arm, despite the fact it's in very good condition. And that rear bushing. Oh, okay, well the rear bushing was in 4%, so I'll grant you that is understandable. Definitely wants to be replaced. This, I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it needs the original condition bushings on. What happens if I reinstall it with the original condition bushings? Does that now acknowledge that as being fixed? going to buy a rear suspension as well. Just quickly pop back to the shop. I'm not sure if this is something I'm doing wrong, or this is one of the bugs with the game. I mean, the game still hasn't been out that long, and there are quite a few faults in it, so sometimes, you know, you do encounter problems, and there's just nothing you can do other than just try and work around them. I can't see why that wouldn't work. Yeah, okay, so that's got it. So the only things now it needs to do is to change the spring and the cap. See, again, there seems to be no particular reason why it's just decided that this spring needs to now be brand new. Rear shock is over cap. But it's just decided that the parts that were on there originally, which were okay, now no longer are for some reason. I've just dropped a brand new rear spring and a brand new rear cap back on. And now if we check the status sheet, rear shock is over cap has been confirmed, and that. So now we can just put the rear wheel back on. Should have done that. Yep. So it's just one thing that's not discovered, and as we saw earlier when we were replacing the front suspension, that the cooling, the radiator looks in pretty poor condition. Let's just quickly open up the bonnet, or the hood if you're in America, and knock off. So radiator A. $200, quickly buy one of them. Bay. Apparently I misclicked there. Brand new radiator. And stick the old fan back on. Close the bonnet and we should be in business. So that is all parts repaired. You can see I spent $2,900, but I'm getting just over $2,000 in payout. And that is story mission number 9 finished. I hope that helps some of you if you were stuck on that, or sort of found that vaguely interesting about replacing the suspension parts. If you can, please like, comment, subscribe, and any suggestions about what to do going forwards, please let me know. See you later, guys.